Hello, fellow explorers. I'm a little bit late this week, so I apologize for that. I've been goofing off over the weekend. This week we are still using the colorful neon. Hello, Taurus. This is your June tarot reading. I just want to point out that I am, since I'm doing these readings toward the end of the month, I want it to be clear that this will play out for the next 4 or 5 weeks. So don't feel like, oh, just because I'm starting here at this point, it's only good for a week and a half, 2 weeks. It will still be playing out when we get into July. Okay, let's get started. All right, you have the Page of Swords at your crown. You're preparing for a significant action. You may be expecting some people involved to push back, but you are going to find that is simply their nature not to do so. You've got a revelation, which may in fact be the thing that brought you to a decision that you will need to take action. You guys are saying it may not be necessary to take that action. Things may just fall into place. Yes, there has been some lack of discretion on someone's part. Maybe someone has taken advantage of you or the environment that you're in. Oh, okay. So there is a policy. It seems that there is a policy that you must take action in this situation. So if you determine not to take action, you will be going against some sort of tradition or policy. But the cards are indicating here that things will sort of play out in the best possible way if you just like let it ride and see what happens. It's kind of good because you're a little tired right now. And so, and also the pushback, or lack thereof, that's coming from a place of like somebody's wounded, very wounded, and they're, it's this opposition that you perceive, their actions or lack of actions. This is based in some pretty traumatic experience they have from their past. So do keep that in mind while you're determining what your next action should be. you guys want me to remind you that you yourself are not threatened in this situation. And it would, in fact, benefit you to allow yourself to be seen as a benevolent person in whatever this situation is. Because someone else was not. There is someone else in the course of this tradition or policy who was not at all considerate of all of the factors involved, and it they did not fare well. Like, history has not been good to them as a result. You guys are asking you to really allow yourself to see down the road and imagine what will be the results of this action that you're preparing to take. Like, really, really, what will be the results? How is it going to play out? And how are you and the institution, system, group, community, whatever, how is all of that going to fare if you take this action? And your guides are saying you're not going to need to take the action before you have all of the information. You will have all of the information before you determine what you need to do. It's like you're going to be waiting a very long time for things to right themselves after this action is taken. So it's like you cannot put that genie back in the bottle after it's out. So, determine, how you want to play this thing. So there is like a contingent that is always they always seem to be at odds. They always seem to be at odds with your, I don't know, institution, whatever the system is that you're in. And there it's like a younger person and an older person, like a generation apart, and they are in struggle. They are in a struggle, and your actions could make or break their reality in some way. And this entire system will be judged by how all of this turns out. Whatever your barriers or boundaries are, first of all, they're not going to prevent you from doing the best that you can in this situation, but also they're very unlikely to provide much protection. So you may as well just step out from behind whatever the shields or protection is that you have, um, and allow yourself to be visible in this action or decision making that you're doing. So, um, ultimately, the decision that you choose to make is going to, the action that you take, the decision that you make, that this action is based on, will elevate you. And, the sense that I'm getting is you will be elevated by this decision because you are willing to take into consideration the human aspect of whatever is going on here. And your guys are saying, you know how to take care of yourself, and you know how to take care of others. And they don't want you to give up your sense of integrity, your sense of care for humanity, in order to follow a policy that you do not believe in. And I'm using the term policy loosely because I do not know specifically what this is about, but it feels very much like there has been a rule set in place that you didn't take part in creating, and if you did, it was things have changed since then, but it does not feel right to follow it at this time. And your guys want you to follow your gut, and they want you to choose the human option rather than this robotic policy option. And they're saying you will benefit, uh, as well as others will benefit from making your decision with um, with heart, with empathy, with compassion. Yeah, they're saying just no, do not take action with mindlessly, without consideration for the human beings involved. Because the people who are directly involved have nowhere to turn, um, except, you know, to ask for your mercy in whatever this is about. And it's sounding very dramatic here, but maybe for some of you it is. Maybe for others of you not so much. But just understand that it does have a huge impact on someone's life. However, ultimately, choosing the most humane and compassionate path is it's going to have a positive effect on you in so many aspects of your existence. This, I think, also is going to bring you to a point of breaking down this system of policies and rebuilding them in a more just a more humane way. You are absolutely instrumental in alleviating extreme pressure from someone's life. Where have I gone? 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Oh, okay. Yeah, you are absolutely instrumental in sparing someone a huge amount of stress. And this is perhaps taking action in the opposite way, or taking policy induced action versus not taking action at all. It might benefit you vaguely in some material way, but your guides are saying it's, first of all, it's very small and it's simply not worth it. Employing your conscience is a much more beneficial route to take for you. Okay, that is 4 weeks. I'm just going to cap it off. Yeah, your guides are saying it's not necessary for you to work out other options. It's more important to just determine if this option is worth taking, is worth following, if this policy is worth following. You're just not going to get fight from the people who are involved or directly involved in this, because they don't have any fight left in them. They truly are out of resources. You are their only hope. You will find yourself in you'll find yourself very highly respected after this works through. And you will have absolutely averted some crisis, not just for the people directly involved, but for other people in the future. You're instituting the beginning of an important change that is taking place in this environment that you're in, and your guides are saying this is what you're here for. This is part of your destiny, is to be here and begin the process of making this change within this system or institution that you're in. And they're acknowledging that this particular institution is often devoid of consideration for compassion and humane action. Okay, Taurus, that is your June tarot reading. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions about this reading, a specific question that pertains to you, feel free to leave it in the comments and I will address it during my 20 questions next week. Or I will put up 20 questions post in my community page within the next couple of days. Also, if you would please, if you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe. And like, share, comment in general. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will check in again with you next month.